This is the world's best health coach, giving you what you need to really have a better second half of your life than the first half. Yes, you can have a better second half of your life in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s than you did in your first half. But you've got to fight for it. You know, I've been in practice for about 35 years, work with tens of thousands of patients. And people have asked me, what are the top things you've learned about health? In all these years, working with all these people, getting them healthier, getting them feel better. What have you learned? What's the top things you've learned? So in this series, this is part 2 of my series, I'm giving you the top 3 things I've learned about health throughout my whole life. In that last video, I talked about fighting for your health, taking responsibility. You have to be responsible for your health, and you have to fight for it. Now, the next thing I'm giving you is change. You've got to be able to change and keep up with the times and change with what you're doing all the time. I recently put out a video about change because it's so important. You can't do the same thing all the time. You've got to work hard. You've got to rest. You've got to work, rest, work, rest. That's what gives your body the ability to grow and keep strong and repair and regenerate. You've got to be able to change and keep up with the ever-changing field that we're in. This is my full-time job, to keep up with what's going to keep you going the best, to have the best possible second half of your life, to feel the best, to look the best, to think the best, to live longer with a better quality of life, so you can do all the things you want to do, so you can impact people with your purpose. You've got a purpose in life. I know you know what it is. I want you to do more of it. If you feel great, have great energy, can get around and think great, you can do more of that purpose and impact the world in a great way. So we have to be able to change and keep up with the ever-changing field, because it changes constantly. And I spend about 40 hours a month, almost one solid week a month, just on keeping up with information that's changing, with longevity, with health, with feeling better, with medical technologies, with supplements, with diet, with different things we can do with our environment. All these things affect our energy, how we feel, how we look, our weight, and how we think, and ultimately what we can do with our lives. So they change all the time, and I've got to keep up with that, and that's why I keep up with these things, test things on myself, test them on my family, test them with my patients. Because I want to give you the best thing that you can learn fast and easy without having to go through all the trials and tribulations and studies like I have to. That's my job, to give it to you in a fast and easy way that you can easily digest it. So the first thing is about fighting for your life, or fighting for your health, and not doing the status quo, or just going downhill. It's just normal for me to feel like crap once I get in my second half of my life. This one's about change. You constantly have to change to keep up with everything. And you've got to change what you're doing all the time. You can't do the same exercise all the time. You got to do different types of exercise. You can't do the same diet all the time. You can't eat at the same times all the time. You can't eat the same amount all the time. You can't eat the same food all the time. You can't use the same medical technology. You've got to keep switching things up. The more you change, the more it constantly stresses the body in a good way to keep strong and building itself back up. Anytime, the body is so efficient and so great at this and adapting, that if you keep doing the same thing, it adapts and makes it easy for the body so it can use less energy. It can just start to kind of go downhill, because if you don't change with your exercise, don't change with that physical stress, your muscles are going to go down, your bones are going to go down. If you don't change with your mind what you're doing, how you're thinking, memorizing things, games, puzzles, whatever it is, to really work that mind, your mind, how it thinks, ability to think is going to go downhill. The number of neurons that are associated with that go downhill. The connections go downhill. Your body's constantly going downhill and atrophying unless you do something to push it. You don't want to stress and push it too much. There's just a sweet spot there. But if you do nothing, you're down here. There's a sweet spot, but if you do way too much stress where you're running 10 miles a day every day, that's too much for your body. But listen to that change video, because it was a great video on that. But this episode really is about change. What I've learned about health, if you change and keep up with the times, which is they're changing very rapidly now, faster than ever before. In the next years ahead, it's going to change faster and faster. It's just a gradual up curve slope as far as the speed of things changing. But we're learning so much more to be healthy. We also have so much more onslaught of things that go against your health and make you have worse health. So you're either going to go downhill faster if you do nothing, or you're going to go uphill at a greater rate no matter what. So you've got to be willing to keep up with the change of what we know about longevity and health span and feeling good and energy and sleep and weight and a great mind and memorization. You got to be able to keep up with the change. And also you just got to change what you're doing all the time to keep your body not getting used to what's going on. Your body's got to constantly adapt. So if you keep changing all the time, it's trying to adapt, but it's going to make it work hard. And you got to get that rest in there too. So these are the two of the top 3 things I've learned about health. Fighting for your health, taking responsibility, changing what you're doing every single day, and changing to keep up with the change in technology, in information and knowledge that we have and products that we have. I've got one more left. What do you think it is? I'm going to give you that in the next film, in the next video. I'm going to give that to you. So this is the world's best health coach, hoping you have a better second half of your life than your first, and you really can take the responsibility and fight for it and change and keep up with everything and change what you're doing every day to keep your body from adapting it. You guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next video.